Hey everyone, this is the fire guide for 8.2 Fire Mage for the Eternal Palace. Wanna just make a quick guide for you how to play fire. Getting a lot of whispers, a lot of good comments in my previous videos, people sending a lot of questions on my Discord, coming to Twitch and etc. So decided to make a video for fire as I promised. Not gonna cover a lot of M plus related information because fire is sadly not the strongest spec to play in M plus. But we will focus mostly on raids and how you want to play fire in the raid, since fire is exceptionally strong in the raid right now and it's super fun. So we're gonna talk a little bit about fire, how you want to play, which stats you want to prioritize, which Azerite pieces you want to try to acquire, trinkets. We're gonna go through rotation and opener, and we're gonna wrap the video. So we're gonna start things off with the talents. I'm not gonna talk much about stuff that's like out of the meta and like irrelevant information because I don't wanna waste your time and my time as well. Basically, this is the talents. This is like the cookie cutter build that you're gonna play 99.9% of the time. The only talents that you want to swap are, if you're raiding Firestarter, is only usable in Azure and Mythic because you're getting a lot of value from 100% to 90%. Like it takes really long time to get the boss to 90%, so Firestarter is a good talent to getting a lot of value, and execute isn't really a thing on Ashman Mythic. Rather than that, you want to play Searing Touch 99.9% of the time. You're not gonna play anything else rather than Shimmer. You 99% of the time gonna play Rune of Power. The only time that you will swap to encounter slow is if you're like unfamiliar with the fights and with like the timing and stuff, and you don't wanna 100% commit your spot to like you don't wanna commit your spot to like area, and you're afraid to like get a mechanic on you, so you want to play encounter slow so you can move around and have more like consistent damage. Sadly, fire is not based on consistent damage. Fire is a burst spec, and you want to have your burst inside your Rune of Power window as much as possible, so this is why Rune of Power is the superior option here. Level 60, you're not gonna play anything else than Flame On. Those two are the talents. 75 is mostly utility. I really like Frantic Speed in conjunction with the execute damage. You just have like a perma movement speed. It's really nice. Ice Word is just for M+, and Ring of Lost is mostly used for PvP. Level 90 for pure single target encounters, which are mostly what Raid's about. Configuration is like the only talent here that you're gonna play. Other are 4M+ and heavy AoE. Level 100, you play only Meteor. Sadly, at the moment, Pyroclasm is good on the paper, but sadly, because we are not that crit like heavy, we're not like heavy crit at the moment like we used to be on previous expansions. This talent is getting out value by Meteor, sadly. Meteor is just, it's really nice in conjunction with the Master Blaster traits from your Azerite pieces. So that's why it's really nice. Let's talk a little bit about Azerite traits, which traits you wanna prioritize. Basically, there are two builds, and the build that is more common, it's the triple Blaster Master. This is the build that everyone mostly playing at the moment. Basically, in the current meta and this build, you building a really fat ignite, and then you kind of like, that ignite is basically what's carrying you through the fight until you're getting your combustion back. Basically, you kind of like waving your damage between 2 minutes windows. The other build that you can play is triple wildfire with pyroclasm, but sadly this build rather is getting a little bit outvalue from the Blaster Master one. The Blaster Master build is a little bit more consistent in terms of damage, so it's pulling a little bit ahead. Even though this build is more fun, in my opinion, I really like the hardcast power proc, but sadly it's getting a little bit outvalue. For trinkets from the raid, you basically have two options. You want to prioritize the trinket from Behemoth. The trinket is really strong. This is like 5, 6, 7%, maybe 8 if you're lucky, percent of your damage. The other trinket is for the Shower Font. This trinket is basically the better version of Balefire Branch. This is the superior trinket, and the reason for that is this trinket, the intellect buff does not decay with time like the Balefire, so this trinket give you more like consistent damage through the buff, and you can utilize it with your even with your second rune. If you're like a little bit unlucky with the trinket, you can use the shower run. You can use trinkets from outside of the red. You can use the inscription trinket. It's really strong. If you have a good Bellfire, you can use the Bellfire. But generally speaking, you want the shower trinket and you want the trinket from Behemoth. In regard of essences, the only essence that you're gonna play as a major is Memory of Lucid Dream. This major essence is exceptionally strong in conjunction with your cooldowns in your combustion, and the reason for that, if you're being lucky and you're getting a lot of refunds and a lot of procs, you can build a really fat ignite, and this one will give you a huge opener, and I'm gonna try to demonstrate it. In regard of like a minor, there are multiple minors that you can play. I like Focus Iris because of like the haste buff that it grants me through the fight, kinda like give me a more consistent fireball like chains, and I really like that. Crucible Flames is really good as a minor. World Bane is really good if you're stacking World Bane and you're playing like stacked fight. But the major one is the most important one, which you want to have Lucid Dreams rank 3. The other minors are like really close to each other. It comes down to personal preference, but I really like Focus Iris just for the haste. For opener, basically there are two types of opener that you basically want to do, and every time I try to like record it, I basically there's like the crit one. If you crit on opener, if you don't crit on the opener, if you crit on the opener, your opener slightly change a little bit. Every time I try to do the crit open, like I try to record the crit opener, I didn't crit, and every time I wanted to crit, I didn't crit, and vice versa, and it's kind of like Monk. But yeah, I'm gonna basically do an opener right now, and based on the opener that I will get, we will talk about that opener, and then I will explain the other one. So if you have the shower front, oh yeah, and before I'm continuing, you need to have the mecha bracers. You basically must acquire these braces. Those bracers are seeming higher than every 455 socket, Gigaforge, whatnot. Those are the best bracers that you can have ever. Those basically makes you dump 3 times more fire blast inside your cooldowns, which is basically makes you, I don't know, 2.5 more times like effective inside your cooldown. This is the best braces that you have, and they drop from Megagon. You need to acquire these braces. It's a must basically. So in regard for the opener, basically if you have the font, I'm gonna basically explain the font opener. If you don't have the font, it's like normal opener, 3-second pot, 1-2-second fireball, but the font opener kinda change a bit. So basically we're gonna do a pull 10, and we're gonna pre-pot at 6, we're gonna start channel the font at 5, and then we're gonna last. So this is pre-pot, font,
4, 3, 2, 1.
and we're lasting. Let's see what we get. I did not tweet. Okay, this is Lucid, fireball. I'm dapping all my procs, I'm using the mecha bracers, I got refunds, I'm getting a lot of refunds actually. This is really nice. My second rune, and you kinda like dumping all your damage inside your second rune as well. Hopefully I will get more procs. And thus you're basically now weaving fireballs and pyroblasts. Yeah, so basically that was the non-crit if you're not critting, and if you're critting, it's kinda like change a little bit, not much. Basically if you're critting, you just you just want to use basically a heating up proc to get the hot streak proc again, then to use lucid, and then rune, meteor, combustion, everything. General guideline for combustion is basically you do not want to enter combustion with 2 or less fire blast charges, and you do not want to enter combustion with not like at least one stack of rune. Basically those two general guidelines that you want to follow. So always at least 2 charges of fire blast and at least 1 charge of rune of power That was pretty much everything that I had to cover related to the fire guide. If you think that I missed some stuff, if you think that I need to cover more stuff, feel free to like write the comments down below. I will do my best to mostly answer most of them. I usually do. I'm probably gonna make a fire guide for M+. I know that's requested as well. I specifically having a lot of fun with fire, so probably yeah, this is probably on the to-do list. Gonna wrap the guide here. If you guys have more questions, whatnot, feel free to whisper me on Discord, come to Twitch. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it here. Thank you all very much, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye bye.